Alright, so welcome back to Bending with Bending. Today, we're bending this 2004 Peterbilt 379. Now this vehicle was hit pretty hard, and I'm bending. I'm going to try and take you through the process here of how we bend these trucks back straight again. So, subscribe to the channel, because I know there's a lot more viewers than subscribers, but hey, subscribe, come on. Alright, so we got our gauges on our Peterbilt. Let's look at this thing. Oh my God, this is gonna be a hard day. Look at that. But we're gonna fix her. She's in good hands. Poor baby. This is what happens when you're hauling loaded and you're coming down a large bridge and somebody cuts in front of you and you hit a Jersey barrier or the wall. All right, so we had our gauges on. I showed you before. We moved her gauges around a little bit, and as you can see here, she's still twisted in the front, but she's pushed way over. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna try and get the side sway out of her first and push her through. So I'm gonna do a setup. We're gonna get a dead leg up here in the front, right here. Put a dead leg on the left side, holding it back to the machine. We're gonna come back here to our front of our tandems. We're going to put another dead leg here, okay? And then we're going to come under, right here by this cross member, under here, and we're going to put our pusher, push it this way. So, here we go. I'm going to hit that high speed, get this set up real quick. Alright, so here we go. We got this dead leg right here up in the front. What we're going to do is we're going to push right here on the back side of this frame horn bracket right here, okay? These are really strong, incredibly strong pieces, okay? And the springs attached to it and everything there. So we'll shim out right here and move on to the next one. We got to have a radio, man. We can't do this without a radio. And I updated my radio. Father's Day present. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Got our pushing leg pushed up here, and we're gonna hook it all up. It's going on and everything. So we're gonna shim this front out up here, and these shackle bars, steel ones, aluminum ones, they work great for shim. And once we get it all set up, we're gonna do what we do best. We're gonna bend her. Here we go. We're gonna hit that high speed, get this set up real quick. Now after we push her over, we're gonna try and get the center line moved over as far as possible, and then we're gonna readjust some stuff. We're gonna have to move our dead leg to the back. We'll have to move our pushing leg forward. Do some change ups here and there throughout this. It's gonna be a long process here, so but yeah, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Alright, so one of the things that we like to do is, because we have broken motor mounts before, we will actually take the bolts out of one side of the motor mount, just so that way we don't have any issues, so it's got a little more free movement. Because we have broken motor mounts and bell housings and stuff in the past, and we just try to take precaution, as much precaution as we can. Alright, so after we pushed on it a little bit, we're going to look at these gauges here. came in a little bit, but it's not moving near the way we want it to. We're going to move everything forward. We got another gauge set up so that way we can see exactly where the well, we know exactly where the bend is, but we're going to have to do a real short push on this thing. So you can see our gauges here. This one here is on the front, this one here is right behind the spring, and this one here is at the next cross member back. And this one's from here to here is such a short distance and such a drastic change. We're gonna have to really set some heavy pushing on this thing. Another issue with our twist, if you notice here, there's a small discrepancy there. If you look close enough, you can see what the problem is. Spring bushing just about, spring pin's just about wore out of the hanger there. To get us another one. Look closely. They did what they had to do to get the axle back in it, I guess. Alright, so as you can see here, we got her pushed over now, so a little pass. We're going to let her sit. Alright, day 2. Or is it 3? I think we're on day 3. This is day 3. Alright, pushing. We've been pushing her over pretty good. She's bending fairly easy, so, but what we're going to do is we've got a lot of stress on the bolts inside there and on the motor mount. So, what we're going to do is we're not bending this rail on this side. It's not staying over, it's not following. So we're going to get our hook out. We're going to hook it here. We're going to put 2 traveling legs on here, one pushing, one pulling, and push her on over. Now you can see this one right here is still sticking out, but we need to get these 3 in line, but our center line is moving out. So we're going to get these 3 in line, then we'll move our gauge back and then push it back over. So one of the things we're going to talk about real quick is the cost, okay? So people ask me all the time, how much it costs, blah, 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 you got a price. Well, we don't have a price because each truck is individually priced out, okay? So this truck is going to take a lot. It's take 3-4 days to get this thing straight. And then we're going to do a 3-axle alignment. Then we're going to, a full 3-axle alignment. Then we're going to check driveline angles, make sure everything's right. We're going to replace all kind of parts such as spring hangers and everything else. But when we come in here and start putting this stuff in, we have to have room. So depending on what we got to take off, we got to take a fuel tank off, that's time. We got to take a box off, that's time. Right now I got to pull the air dryer off so I get this hook in here. It's just all kinds of different things. So when we look at a truck and it's really, really bad, we're going to say, okay, we got to push it here, here, and here. So this is everything we got to move. So we'll make a price for that. You see what I'm saying? But generally, it's still not set in stone. There's still going to be some other charges on the other end, but everything will be approved before we do anything, because we want to make sure we get paid for it, and the customer understands the severity of what's going on. So. do some finagling here, but there we go. This is our setup right here with our double pushing leg. Right like that, one on each side. Okay. I was trying to get this set up where I could hook onto it and pull it, but I wound up going inside of it. And there you go. This is what we look like from the other side. It's going to allow us to pull both rails equally, so that way we can keep the pressure off the bell housing. We don't want to bust nothing. Don't do that. We've broken the bell housing before. We don't want to do that again. Alright, so as you can see, she leveled out pretty good. We went ahead and replaced that spring hanger and everything. She came back up. So I went ahead and decided to push her through first. See our gauge is there. We need to go a little bit more, so we're going to go ahead and push her a couple more times over. See if we can get her to stay past. Alright, so here we go. We got her passed. Just a little bit. Okay. See that there. There we go. Alright. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to tear everything down. And take her for a spin down the road, see how far she creeps back. Dang, it's hot today. Ugh. Alright, so here's what we look like now. I remember we looked at it earlier. So we're going to back her off. She's looking pretty good. Center line's looking good. So we're going to back her off, drive her around. Alright, so she's looking pretty good. Another one bites the dust. It only took us 3 days. Anyway, so let's look down these gauges, huh? Alright, so still a little high right there. See how it's kind of a little high right there? But we think that might have something to do with that. You know, there's a gap in there. We need to put a taller spacer block in there, some U-bolts, both sides. We'll look down the main gauge here on the outside. And when you know it. Pretty straight. Alright, so now that she's straight, gotta do a 3-axle alignment, fix the front end, and she'll be ready to roll. If you liked the video, subscribe. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, subscribe, and that's another episode of Bending with Bending. I'm Bending, and we'll see you later. This guy's bill is outrageous, though. People wonder why it costs so much to do this. Jeez. I'm gonna have to move the gauges around here and see what it looks like back here. Looks pretty good.